round of applause to all of our graduates. Now you can sit down. This is a great night. This is my favorite night of the year because we get to celebrate the hard work that you guys have done. My name is Kate Devlin, and I'm the coordinator of the testing center here at GCC. And I get to see everybody on probably what they consider their worst day of their life. But then I get to celebrate with them when you pass, which is great. So, choices and decisions. We all make some every day. Tonight we're here to celebrate a decision you made to invest in yourselves and your education. Completing the high school equivalency test and sticking with it until you finished each of the 5 sections is an accomplishment that no one can take away from you, and you should be very proud of it. Before we get going, I want to recognize a few people in the audience because we can never get anywhere without a little bit of help, right? So I think we have a lot of teachers, we have friends and family in the audience, all of whom are here to help celebrate. So graduates, how about we give them a round of applause? So I have a couple of things I want to share with you. My family's heritage is Irish, and the Irish are full of proverbs and blessings. And there's one for a traveler that says, "May the road rise to meet you, and the wind be ever at your back." Last spring, I went on a hiking trip, and I learned early on that sometimes when the wind is at your back and you take a tumble and the road rises to meet you a little quicker than you anticipate, it can really hurt. When I was sitting on the ground, waiting for the shock to wear off and rubbing my ankle, another quote kind of popped into my mind. And it's from a man named Viktor Frankl. He was a survivor of the Holocaust. And he said, between a stimulus and a response, there's a space. In that space is our power to choose a response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. I knew I had a choice to make. Should I let a badly sprained ankle hold me back and not continue hiking for a week? Or should I push myself a little bit and see if I could continue? Well, I kind of sat there and I tested things out, shook my foot a little bit, tightened up my boot, and I looked up and I realized that there were all these hands reaching down to help me up. Well, the rest of the week I learned something else, and that was that when I really needed a hand, there was somebody there. It's not always easy to accept help. So often we just try to power through and stick to ourselves. I learned something else that week too. As we were hiking, I found that when the path was rocky, it was actually easier to cross than anything that was flat and smooth. It seems counterintuitive, but with the bumpy trail, I didn't actually have to move my ankle that much, whereas with flat ground, it hurt a lot more. Kind of reminds me of our lives in some ways. Sometimes the rocky road is actually easier, and all of you have worked really hard and gone down a lot of paths to get here, and we're so proud of you. It's all in deciding how you're going to rise to a challenge when it comes in front of you. So with that, we have a few other speakers that I'd like to introduce. The first one is Judith Roberts, who's the executive director of the Literacy Project, and someone that I know some of you are familiar with.
So I'd like to give a round of applause for Kate Devlin. She is our HiSET examiner. Many of you had her. I brought my grandson to take an Accuplacer test with Kate, and I was terrified. He was terrified, and she put us both at our ease. So she's a great person to give a high-stakes test. But tonight is your night, graduates, and I want to congratulate you and tell you that your success is a reward for all of us. So your success is our greatest reward, and it's a gift to us. So thank you. Thank you. And I know your friends and family who are here to celebrate and support you, it's a gift to them. It's a gift to your teachers and all of us who work to keep the HiSET programs free and available for folks who need them. So we have some teachers here. Could the teachers stand up from the Literacy Project? And counselors. I know for a fact that they believed all along that you could do it, and now you've done it. And your success is our success. One of the teachers that was at the Franklin County Career Center, Annette Kilmeister, said, "We get paid here. We get paid in our hearts." So thank you. It's a reward for us when you're successful. And I want to invite you tonight to continue with that success. You're on a journey. You're on a journey of education and discovery. And it's an adventure, really. You're on an adventure, finding new things, learning new things, and we're so proud of you, and I want you to ask you, when you're ready to continue, please continue, whether it be next semester or next year, to continue with your education and training. And there's no better place, in my opinion, than Greenfield Community College. So I invite you to come here. Your lives are changed forever. Now that you have your HiSET degree, as one of our students said a few years ago, he said, "No one and nothing can take this away from me." So nothing can take this away from you, what you've accomplished. And you've learned the most important thing, which is that effort equals success. And some of you I know put in so much effort, but I know everyone put in a lot of effort to get where you are today. So please continue with that effort and come over to GCC, continue with your training and education. And I'm a very proud alumni of Greenfield Community College myself, so I can speak personally, which is why I encourage you to come here. I came to Greenfield Community College when I was 30 years old, a single mom working full-time with 4 kids, and I came to get the 2-year degree, the associate's degree they have here. So how long do you think it took me to get that 2-year degree? You guys have to guess. 4 years? More? 6? No, more. 10? More? Okay, it took me 15 years, taking 1 class a semester. That's effort, right? You guys know what effort is all about, okay? So it doesn't matter. It's never too late, and it's never too long to continue your education. So please continue your education. And tonight, I have the great honor of introducing our keynote speaker, Greenfield Community College President Bob Pura. And I just want to tell you a tiny bit about Bob. You guys, the graduates tonight, are very, very lucky because you're the last group of graduates to have Bob speak as a standing president of Greenfield Community College. He's retiring in June, and we already miss him, and I'm sure he'll come back, but you guys get to hear him as the standing president of Greenfield Community College. And I have to tell you that even though Bob Pura is retiring, he will always be my president, and I'll tell you why. Because he is a great leader. He's a great leader, and it's really quite simple, and I want you graduates to think about this. The reason why he's a great leader is because he leads from his very good mind, which you all have shown that you have, and from his heart. He does what he believes in and what he's passionate about. And then the third piece is that he's himself, his own unique, lovable self. So as you listen to him speak tonight, I want you to think about this because I know you're going to be making decisions in your life about what you're going to do next, What are your plans? So I want you to lead with your mind, think it through. What's the best decision for you? And your heart. Examine your heart. What's meaningful to you? What do you believe in? And go towards that. What are you passionate about? And lastly, be yourself, your own lovable, wonderful self. Okay, I give you GCC President Bob Pura.
Thank you, Judith. That was more than kind, truly. Hi, everyone. That was not good enough. Hi, everyone. Hi. Nah, that was good. So I first want to say congratulations to all of you, and I have some words to share with you. But I also want to say thank you and congratulations to all of you here tonight. They would not be here were it not for the community, the village, that we are, that really does take a community to have students succeed. And when you succeed, your life changes, families then change, and so too our community. So that connection is very clear. We're also proud of the courage that you have, the commitment that you've shown to get it done. Usually I've been asked to say words of welcome on behalf of the college, which it's always been an honor to do, but to be asked to do the keynote is truly a privilege, and I want to thank you, Kate, for that honor. I think Henry Ford said something like, if you think you can, or you think you can't, you're right. And I think there's a lot of wisdom to that, that I've come to understand along the way. So your success here tonight is a matter of your commitment to yourself and to your belief in getting it done. I'd like to tell you 3 quick stories, and I hope they're pretty quick, and then summarize what I think are some of the lessons. All of those stories that you're about to hear are real for me, those that I've lived and experienced. The first one's about a horse, second one's about a bull, and the third one's about my dad. So the first one about the horse, I had just received my PhD, and I flew to Nova Scotia, Cape Breton. Mabu is the name of the town, to meet my wife, and that's where her family's from, and so we would go there every summer. It just finished, and I went to go visit. When I got there, Uncle Bernie had some horses. Mabu is not unlike many of the towns here in Franklin County. It's basically a farming and fishing village. A lot of hardworking, good people who play fiddle as good as it gets, and but work really hard. And on one particular, on that visit, Uncle Bernie said that the horse got spooked one night and got out. And that was pretty big to do in that town, that the horse got out and we couldn't find it. And a couple days later, I was sitting on the front porch of the house, and up the dirt road came this, one of the neighbors, and the neighbor said, I think your horse is down on the beach. So I grabbed some oats and grabbed a bucket of water, and 2 buckets went down to the beach, and the horse was thirsty, as you can imagine, 2-3 days, and the town was kind of, up, where's the horse? And there was a bear sightings, and nobody knew exactly what happened, but there was the horse on the beach, had the water, had the oats. Horse came, drank some water, got some oats, and walked with me back up to the house. And, it seemed like a pretty kind of normal thing to do. Now, don't forget, I had just gotten my PhD, and I was pretty proud of myself. Dr. Pura, yeah. And so, and that got around the town, too. But one night, we went to a ceilidh. And a ceilidh is like a party, a dance, down at the tennis courts. And they have a little place where you can have parties. So we went to the ceilidh, and there was great live music, and people were dancing. My brother-in-law came over and said, the people in the town are pretty impressed with you. And I said, they are? Why is that? And I was thinking, PhD, you get that. It was that I was smart enough to think to bring the oats and the water. That's what was impressive to those folks. It wasn't the degree at all. In fact, one of the guys says, he's not that dumb after all. He brought the water and he brought the oats. So those people respected that kind of intelligence, to know what that horse needed more than any degree that was attached to my name. That was story number one. Story number two, also up in Mabu, my brother-in-law says to me, this is a different year, he said, would you like to go help me? I need to pick up a bull from one farmer and bring it back to another farm. I said, sure, I'd never done anything like that. So got in the truck, went up. Bull is with a bunch of cows, and bull wasn't cooperating at all, and we weren't able to grab the bull to put it in the truck to bring it to the other farm. And then that farmer just went over by the barn, opened up the corral there, and put some food out and some water out, and the cows went in, the bull went in, and we went in, got the bull, put him on the truck, and we drove away. But what I remember was, more than anything else, so this bull was giving us a hard time, but walked back into that pen, walked back into that little corral. We were able to get the bull, and then as we drove away, I saw that farmer just wrap some rope around that gate. And I was thinking, these animals are pretty big and strong. They can get through that rope. In fact, if they wanted to, collectively, they can get through that barn. But there was that rope that kept them inside. And I always thought to myself, what are the ropes that keep me inside, keep me from moving forward? What were the ropes that were really more imaginary in my head about the things that were keeping me back? And I've always carried that as one of the lessons in my journey about the power of education. They begin to untie those ropes and unlock those doors that have kept us back from moving where we want to move. And the third one also that I think is relevant for me tonight is a story that I've told millions of times here about my dad. And just a little bit about my dad. He was an immigrant to this country. He came, his father had come before, his mom and his sister, the three of them came together. My grandfather had already been here for just a little bit. And my dad never did graduate high school. He never, he worked in a delicatessen all of his life. But the one picture I have of my dad, not the smiley picture in front of the wedding, just that real natural smile that I kept of my dad, and the only picture I have on the wall in my house of him is him at work. He's got his arms out like this, he's behind the counter, he's got 5 big salamis in his hand, and he was happy, genuinely happy. That kind of happiness that comes from what Judith talked about for you, that genuine sense of, this is what I'm proud of doing, this is what I love to do. It's not about the job, it's about how you feel about the work. And so, right before my dad passed, I had the opportunity to he was in a wheelchair by then, and we took a little walk. And he stopped. My dad was not a very talkative guy. He's not a very philosophical guy. But he stopped the wheelchair and he said, I made 2 big mistakes in life. He said, well, what? And I thought he was going to talk about insurance or something like that. And he said, because he knew he was getting ready to pass. And he said, 2 big mistakes. And I said, well, what's the big mistake? And he talked about how he worked too hard. He spent all of his life working. He had Wednesdays off. That's the life in the delicatessen business. And he said, and I didn't spend enough time with you and your mom. So obviously we cried together and we talked a lot together about the purpose of work and the meaning of work. And so that's one of the reasons I have this beautiful picture of him with this big smile, his happiness at work. And I couldn't, for the life of me, and that was about an hour-long conversation, and we're truly cried out together. And I was like preparing for what's number 2 going to be. So I said, well, Dad, what's big mistake number 2? And he said, well, I think your mom was wrong all along. They don't weigh you on the way out. I should have eaten more ice cream. So here are a few lessons I take from all of that. Number one, graduates, number one, intelligence and your worth is not defined by how many degrees you get, but what you do with what you've learned. Number two, never let your past harness your future. Don't hold yourself back from living the life you are willing to work hard to achieve. Number three, you have proven to yourselves that you can do this. So don't let anyone or anything stop you from wearing that smile that says, yeah, I got this. And number four, make sure you take the time to eat more ice cream. I wish for all of you all of those things, and with hard work, you will achieve each of them. My congratulations to all of you, and I hope to see you soon at GCC. We will hold a seat for you. Congratulations.
I have the first certificate to hand out tonight. And this is on behalf of the Adult Literacy Collaborative, which is the collaborative that puts together this graduation ceremony for everyone. And this one is for Bob Pura. So, in appreciation of all of the years of service and support that he's given to all of the students.
Thank you.
So next, I would like to invite Louise to come up. And Chris?
Hi, everyone. The reason I'm up here is because it is my pleasure, my honor, I can't even explain, to be able to introduce Chris Ewing as one of our speakers. I've known Chris for probably 20 years. Yeah, 20 years. And I got to tell you, she's small in stature, but she is powerful. I was afraid of her for a long time because but she, for me and for everyone else at the Literacy Project who has known Chris over the years, has watched her struggle, has watched her give up, have watched her come back, have watched her get really mad at us and yell at us and leave again over and over, but she always came back. And when she came back this last time, I knew that she was going to do it. She had the determination, but the math was the thing that was just getting her. She struggled so hard with it, but she stuck with it. And for me and for others who know Chris, and for those of us at the Literacy Project, volunteers who I thought she would scare away, stuck with her. She is such an inspiration. And, you know, it just shows that 20 years of stop, start, and, you know, finally just so determined that she was going to do it. And she did, and we're so happy for her, so proud of her, and she really is an inspiration for all of us who know her, and I'm not afraid of her anymore.
Hello, everyone. I try to warn people I'm really not that scary. But anyway, oh my God, I am so excited for myself and everyone else graduating here. And I am one that struggled in understanding what I read, and math, oh my God. I always wanted to shoot the people that created the math to the limits. It's like, it's got to stop somewhere. But anyway, I was in special classes all my life. When I was, a little yee-high on up, my mother, I don't think she was ready for me. She thought I was lazy. I kept being, disciplined. And at those times, in the early 60s and 70s, you do not talk back to your parents. And I've always had questions on why. I didn't do anything wrong. And she didn't understand that I was a slow child in understanding what was put in front of me or to be read. And she always considered and told me that I was a failure at stuff. And what he was, it's like what not to look at as you get older. I was stuck, and I didn't know how to come out of it. I just, the tape recording was always in my head. And I wasn't a bad child. I wanted to go to school. I just didn't understand what was going on around me. And you just go with the flow of life, is what I did. And as the time's gone by, I always wanted to finish my schooling. I didn't quite know how until I came into Greenfield in '96. And in '97, I found out about the Literacy Project. And I was definitely a challenge as a student. A few times, I was in my depression. Was getting to me. I thought I would never succeed. I just felt like a failure. So that's why I kept coming in and out. I wasn't really fighting with Louise, although she can be a challenge too. I love that part. It's like I'm giving it back. But I've worked so hard, and it's like I gotta get this. I want to finish my GED. One way or another, I was determined through the years. And yes, 20 years later, here I am, and so very grateful. The Literacy Project and Mass Rehab had helped me with the Mass Rehab with the tutoring, and with Louise telling me to slow down. And I was not listening very well. But it took her a few years on, as you could tell, 20 years later, I finally sat back and just listened, and I did that. And I'm so freaking touched. I wasn't expecting to hear anything from Louise talking about me. And it was touching. I'm surprised I didn't cry. I'm trying not to. I probably will later. But in ending all of this, I just want to say thank you to Louise and all those that are part of the Literacy Project and other areas with the Literacy Project. I just want to say thank you.
Kathy, could you please come up? Kathy King is another teacher for the Literacy Project. And Destiny, could you come up too?
I'm Kathy King from the Literacy Project North Quabbin, and I'm here to introduce one of our shining stars. We are always very, very proud of our students, no matter how long it takes them. Destiny came to us a few years ago. She came for a while, she left. She came back again, she left, and then she came back and she took her test, and here she is. And here she is at GCC as well. So, yes. Love you too. So, this is not my stage to have, it's Destiny's, so please welcome Destiny Recore.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Destiny Recore, obviously, the proud recipient of a HiSET certificate. An immeasurable amount of thank you goes to Kathy, Charlie, and Julie at the Literacy Project in Orange for helping me achieve my goal of further education, accommodating to my many needs as an active substance abuser. But it wasn't until the spring of 2016 that I finally made my last attempt to finish the HiSET test once and for all and get my college ID I've always dreamed about. They were always right there waiting for me until I was ready to make another attempt at the test. I am now currently enrolled at GCC. I just got out of classes, actually. And I couldn't be happier. It's literally the best college ever. As of today, I'm currently 1 year and 3 months clean and serene. I am an AB college student, a valued employee, an independent adult, and the HiSET for me means a life of substance instead of a life on substances. Thank you.
Thank you for your words, both of you. So now it's our great pleasure. We have a couple of scholarship awards, and I'd like to invite Catherine Seaver, who's our Chief Student and Academic Affairs Officer here at GCC.
Good evening. I'm Catherine Seaver, and I wanted to start by just congratulating all of you on your accomplishment, and we're so proud of you. And this is the first of hopefully many accomplishments for you. And I also want to let you know that registration for the spring semester here at GCC begins, I believe, October 23rd. So if you're ready to take more classes and either register for classes if you're already here or start your college career, please come see us. We'd love to have you join us. So I'm honored tonight to present the scholarships from the Tricia Donovan Family Fund. Tricia Donovan of Conway, who passed away in February of 2011, served as a GED instructor at the Franklin Hampshire Employment Training Consortium for many years, during which time she also worked toward her PhD at the UMass School of Education in Amherst and completed her degree in 2006. Her decades of work improved the lives of thousands who may never have succeeded after traditional education turned out to not be a good fit for their learning journey. First, I'd like to present the Tricia Donovan Memorial Scholarship Fund. The Tricia Donovan Memorial Scholarship Fund is a permanently endowed fund established to support Greenfield Community College students who have obtained their general equivalency diploma. Would Emily Cullen please join me on this stage? Thank you. The Tricia Donovan Family Scholarship Fund is a permanently endowed fund established to support Greenfield Community College students who are single mothers who have obtained their general equivalency diploma. This year we'd like to honor Jessica Dion with this award.
now we get to the fun part. So we'll take it slow. If family and friends want to come up, we've got space up here if you want to come up for a photo. And if you want to hoot and holler, please do. So, all right, so Patricia Black, congratulations. Natalie Cruz, congratulations. Just bring us up. Jessica Dion, congratulations.
I lost my name.
Chris lost her name. Chris Ewing. Annika Fett. Congratulations. Miriam Gonzalez. Congratulations. Logan Kinney. Congratulations. Caitlin LaFleur. Congratulations. Dustin Lombard. Congratulations. Lisa Lopez. Congratulations. Jason Nomet. Congratulations. Vanessa Paquette. Congratulations. Katarina Pruner. Jordan Race. Congratulations. Destiny Recor. Tina Ryder. Jake, all right. Jake Sisson. Olivia Tibbetts. Congratulations. Toll. Jeremy Toll. Didn't want to say it wrong. Congratulations. Haley Wheeler. Oz Wood. Okay. Christine Tripleton. Let's give another round of applause. So graduates, if you could all stand up for a second. There's one more thing you have to do if you haven't done it already. Did you flip your tassels to the other side? All right, so may the road rise to meet you, but not too quickly. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and the rain fall soft on your fields until we meet again. So welcome. I invite you to join us in the back for some refreshments. There's some cake over there too. So please, let's just give a last round of applause and we can head on back.